Here we go.
Fly Me to the Moon is a movie that only had me really interested because of the cast involved and the fact that it was set in the 60s time period, which I'm typically a fan of. The trailer, when I watched it, did ultimately nothing in terms of my excitement level, so I figured I would just go in, probably watch it whenever I got the chance, and having seen it now, it's just an entirely forgettable movie, so disposable, and just not that enjoyable, which is what it should have been. But as we get into the rest of this review, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, and comment down below what are your thoughts or expectations for Fly Me to the Moon. But let's keep talking about it. Now, throughout this review, it's going to sound like I'm dunking on the movie because I simply didn't enjoy it, but I do want to preface with just saying it's entertaining enough. If you're going into it just wanting to take your mind off of the world for about a little over 2 hours, which is way too long, we'll talk more about that. But if that's what you want to do on a Saturday afternoon, by all means, this is going to be the movie that you'll probably enjoy. You won't think too much of it, and then you'll forget about it. It's easily digestible. It's not going to have you thinking too hard about it. The two leads do a good job, and I think that they do well with what they're given. Tatum and Johansson have a decent chemistry. They're not really able to do much other than the fact of they're leading the movie and they play characters. It just seems so silly, but it's true, there's not much there. Character development, one of the things I think this movie could have benefited from, and we'll start with this number one, is that I think it could have had more heart in the writing. The writing leaves more to be desired. To elevate the story, I think you could have added a more emotional moments to really compel you. I was not compelled at all, I would say. A big problem with this movie is that it has this artificial vibe to it where, yes, it is a straight-to-streaming movie. I think it is easy to forget that because it's going to theaters, but it is an Apple TV Plus movie, which they partnered with Sony to distribute it across theaters ahead of its streaming release. So whether it's the ugly, glamorous tint that the movie has visually, or just the fact that it feels like boring entertainment that you'll just completely forget about 2 weeks later. It's just dull in that manner, and it doesn't leave anything to really chew on. And this is a very compelling time period. You have the race to the moon, the battle between the Soviets and who can get to the moon first. There was inherently a lot of tension during this time period, and the movie does not do anything with that. It does maintain a lighthearted nature, which I think works in its favor, but there could have been more. Let's get into the runtime. The movie is over 130 minutes, and there's no reason why it should be. This should be a tight 1 hour 45-ish runtime. I was already checking my time less than an hour into the movie, so immediately that's a big red flag. I was never hooked at all during the movie. I wanted to just find myself going along with the story and really being entertained, but I didn't find that. It's not particularly funny either. It tries really hard to make you laugh, and it sounded like, from what I heard, there were some chuckles in my theater, but there wasn't much for me. It's also weird because the first half of this movie, right, it's about Scarlett Johansson's character coming into the picture. She's bickering with Channing Tatum. Johansson's character is brought into the picture by Woody Harrelson's character so she can help promote the moon landing, get more eyes on it, and have it better marketed across the country so more people will be interested. So she comes in, and then the second half of the movie is about them faking the moon landing. That's just simply way too bloated. There's too much in this movie. I think it just should have focused on the latter, and then you could have cut a good bit out, solving at least one of my issues. But then the movie ends up taking this like really silly, lazy, contrived way of ending it all. A cat is involved, that's all I'll say. It just did not work for me. I was shaking my head, honestly. To put it simply, I did not have a good time with this one. It didn't compel me by any means. I wanted the story to be investing, and it simply wasn't. I was ready for it to be over before it was even an hour into the runtime. The movie's also just so predictable. You know exactly what's gonna happen. Ultimately, just really dull. I'm gonna give Fly Me to the Moon a C, and unless you're really excited to check out this movie, I would recommend just skipping it. This definitely could have been something much better, but instead it just feels like wasted potential. While I didn't enjoy it, I hope you enjoy it. Let me know your thoughts on it down below in the comments. I want to thank you so much for watching this review, and again, if you did enjoy it, be sure to hit that like and subscribe button, as well as that notification bell so you don't miss any further videos, and as always, look forward to more content coming soon. My name is Ben, people call me Meter, and I'll see you guys in the next one.